Welcome back to our Alaskan adventure. We headed north out of Quesnel on Highway 97, up towards Prince George. I have to say Highway 97 was a nice wide highway. There's a few potholes here and there, but overall the highway's in really good condition. No issues going up 97 at all. So far, really the only issue we've had is back on Highway 8, where it was obvious that some of the road had been washed out and they had repaired it with gravel while they work on it. But other than that, the roads have been really good shape for the most part. Driving through Prince George, Sonia saw the information in the milepost about Mr. PG, so we had to get him on video. And now we're on Highway 16 westbound. This highway goes from Prince George to Prince Rupert. We're not taking it all the way to Prince Rupert because we're turning north on the Cassiar Highway. Highway 16 was also in really good shape. Lots of passing lanes. Their passing lanes are well marked.
Yeah, pretty much.
Another thing I've come to really like on this trip is how many nice rest areas there are along the side of the highway. And we're towing our own trailer, so a lot of the turnoffs that they have that have bear-proof garbage cans, and some of them do have pit toilets, but sometimes they're just pull-offs having the trailer with us. Those work just as good as rest areas as well. But I was really impressed with how many really nice rest areas there have been so far along the trip. Lots of places to pull over and stretch your legs. Not sure why I was surprised to see so much traffic, because we are still in a fairly well populated section of British Columbia, but I don't know, in my mind, headed to Alaska, it's the last frontier, and you expect like nobody out there for hours, and that's just not the case. Been seeing lots of lakes and rivers on the trip as well. Definitely some pretty landscape. Sonia found Fraser Lake Municipal Park in the milepost. I had not even seen it prior to this. What was really nice about this is there's, according to the milepost, 11 spots, RV spots. They're free, and it's a nice park. The only downfall to the park is it's right next to the railroad tracks, and unlike Quesnel, that the trains did not seem to run at night, we had trains come by at night, and because of the park road crossing the railroad tracks right there at the campground, requirements for the train are that they blow their horn, so they let you know when they're coming through. But it was a nice campground. There was at least 6 pull-throughs and 5 back-end sites there, and we got there relatively early in the day, around 2 o'clock-ish. And I'd say by 6 or 7, I think every spot was taken. So it does fill up relatively quickly. This is another cool little thing Sonia read in the milepost about this giant fly rod. It was a cool stop and neat to see, and we needed gas there anyway, so it made it for a good stop.
How tall is it? 60 feet? 60 feet
The fly is 21 inches.
with a 21-inch fly.
That's for a big mouth bass.
On the road again. It's fun to get out, stretch your legs on longer drive days. We've tried to keep the drive days down a little bit shorter. As we continued west, the landscape definitely started changing. The mountains around us got a lot taller and started seeing snow in the top of a lot of them as well. Did a quick roadside stop here, and there were some First Nation folks down by the falls there fishing for salmon. That was fun to watch for a little while. As we continued westbound, the roads were still in really good shape. There's some statues out in the parking lot of that store. Tried to get them on video, didn't do the best job. Probably should have pulled over. But yeah, the mountains got higher and landscape got a lot prettier.
Bear!
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 Bear! Bear!
Bear! Bear on the left!
We actually saw our first bear. And how about this for a view out of our campsite, huh? Wow. That's all I gotta say is wow. Wow. This looks like a postcard. This is gorgeous.
Well, as you can tell, we got a little bit excited about our first bear sighting. It wasn't a big one, but it was a nice black bear. It was right next to camp too, which was kind of cool and a little bit nervous. There's a few construction sites along the way, but to be honest, we were not delayed in our trip very much at all. And then we made it to the turnoff for Cassiar Highway.
So we made a pit stop at Gittinyao. If I'm pronouncing that right, probably not. This is one of the largest collections of standing totem poles in northern British Columbia.
Stopping at the totem poles was neat. They had an interpretive center there that unfortunately was not open to the public, and nobody was there. But it would have been kind of interesting to learn more about the history and the methods used to make the totem poles. But it was still a neat stop and fun to see. It was back on the Cassiar Highway. I will say we did pass a lot of log trucks on the entire route. They definitely do some logging up there. Once we were on the Cassiar Highway, we definitely started running across frost heaves more often. But all in all, at least up to the junction with 37A, the road wasn't too bad. There were definitely some sections we slowed down in because the frost heaves were decent in size and all, but overall it's been a good drive. And as we got closer to Stewart and Hyder, the scenery was just amazing. Words really do not describe it well at all.
Driving up the Cassiar Highway, we took the junction. We're headed to Stewart Hyder, and that is our first official glacier, Bear Glacier. And I tell you what, this drive has been stunning.
I have to say, my videos and pictures probably aren't doing it the justice it deserves either. It was beautiful, stunning, wonderful, magnificent. It was great. And there's so many waterfalls to see. There's one wall of waterfall that was in a tight, windy canyon. I could not get the camera out. It's just gorgeous. We'll try to get that on our way out. Now, there's 3 main campgrounds in the Hyder Stewart area. We chose Rainy Creek because of cost. We're trying to keep the cost down. This was a little over $30 Canadian a night. It does have electrical at the sites, and there is water available up by the restrooms, potable water. But each campground is in the trees. You have your own picnic table, fire ring, even though fires were banned at the time we were there. But really nice scenery. I found it to be more than adequate for a park. It's nice and close to everything. Of course, the town's so small, no matter where you're at, you're close to everything. But nice campground. It's nice to have 30 amp power right there. We did run out of water on one morning doing the dishes, but rectified that quickly with our water jug. And on to Hyder, Alaska. Hyder's the most southern city in Alaska you can actually drive to by car. Any other further southern towns, you need a plane or a boat to get to. So this is the closest one you could drive to in the south.
Welcome to Hyder, Alaska. We're entering Alaska. Woohoo!
Dear, I wouldn't stand in the middle of the road. Yeah, watch it. Make sure nobody comes around that corner and whacks you.
It was kind of an interesting feeling actually making it to Hyder. I have watched so many different YouTubers show up here. I've seen videos, pictures, interviews with local residents from Destination Adventure, Less Junk, More Journey, just so many different YouTubers that we've actually seen here. It's just kind of surreal in a way to actually be in Hyder, Alaska. It's also a big, huge part of the trip getting to Alaska was a huge step. And that was the reason for the journey. We still have a lot more to see, but it's a big step on that journey is to actually making it physically to Alaska. Such a nice feeling and such a success to actually have made it up here. The biggest attraction we had coming up here is going to the bear viewing station at Fish Creek. I was a little apprehensive because I've also, again, watching some of these YouTubers, it sounds like it's kind of hit and miss whether you're going to see a bear when you're there. And the first time we went there was midday. It was probably 11:30-ish when we arrived there. And a lot of times in the heat of the day like that, the bears don't come out because they're in the thick underbrush, kind of hiding from the heat of the day and trying to stay cool. They got that big fur coat that they can't take off, and that keeps them warm. We had to park in the overflow parking, and as you walk up the boardwalk, there's a really neat crystal clear creek, and you could see the fish swimming around. And I bought a new DJI Action 3 for this trip, and it's got zoom, so I got to play around with that a little bit as well. I have the first generation Action camera, and that's what most of my previous YouTube videos are recorded on. So we got a new one for this trip just because of how old the other one was. I'm not sure how much longer it's going to last, but also having the zoom feature was kind of nice. The area around the viewing station is just gorgeous. There's just so much to look at. We bought a 3-day pass, and it's got a nice elevated platform you can walk down and view the bears in relative safety. And there are a lot of Forest Service employees there, and they all have bear spray and all keeping an eye out for you.
He's walking down the road.
Oh, walking down the road.
He's walking down the road. Right there. He's almost to that first tree. Bear. He's walking down the street.
Thank you.
Coming this way.
There you go.
It's right there.
He'll probably come down. The one walks that same path that we came down yesterday.
Right there with that.
We have a brown bear on the road near the south end of the platform, but out on the road.
No, you're supposed to take that train, Mr. Brown Bear. We don't have any more wood.
We got super lucky on our first visit there. This bear came down just after noon, between about, I'd say, 12:15, 12:30, which is unusual, again, for this area. Most of their sightings, they keep a dry erase board up by the ticket booth area, the entrance to the viewing station, and they write down bear viewings, and most of the bear viewings seem to be between about 6 in the morning till about 10 in the morning, and then again at 6 at night till about 10 at night. They open at 6 and they close at 10, and they run off of Canadian time, not Alaska time. We found that out on our journey. So this bear was kind of unusual. They don't normally come down in the middle of the day, and we got super lucky. We came back that afternoon, saw another bear, and the next day we got up at 5:30. We were on the road and got there at 6, and we saw 2 bear that morning. So every time we went to the platform, we saw a bear. We were truly blessed. Watching these bear, I mean, the river is chock full of salmon. They are everywhere. I've been salmon fishing before on various streams and rivers in Oregon, and I've never seen that many salmon in one place before. And these bears were just, they didn't even have to work too hard to catch salmon. It was kind of funny to watch them.
He's playing with it.
We thoroughly enjoyed watching the bear, and we hope you do too. Enjoy just watching them be bears. I just want to say thanks for coming along on this journey. We really appreciate everybody that takes time out of their day to watch our videos. Hope you enjoyed this one. Stay tuned. We're headed to Skagway. Thanks for watching.